So Jim Rickabaugh. So I currently am the Senior Advisor to the Institute for Personalized Learning. It's a part of a regional service agency in the Milwaukee, Wisconsin area. Well, I've been a superintendent in Minnesota and Wisconsin, so Burnsville, Minnesota, Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, and Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin. Oh, with Moss? Oh my gosh, 32 years, I guess.
How many years as superintendent?
21. So there was some time in between where I was doing other things. So first of all, it's a very important element. You think about schools as learning institutions, and if you're not careful, what happens is you actually develop an instruction culture, not a learning culture. And while instruction culture is convenient and often comfortable for adults, the work is really about learning, nurturing learning. And so if you think about sort of what are the strategies for that, well, one is for everyone to see themselves as a learner and to engage in learning that's meaningful and purposeful. So that may be book groups within the staff. It could be our learning from each other. Obviously, it could be bringing in outside expertise. But I think from a culture perspective, the inside out is actually stronger. The more that we can learn from each other or learn together, the better that is. And even more than that, when we can create circumstances where we're learning with learners, so that learners see adults around them, learning along with them, or learning in some cases from them, are really excellent opportunities. So you can marry that with a student voice. So when students speak and adults listen and respond to that, our learners can see adults as both listeners and learners from them. So those are all pieces that I think don't necessarily configure themselves in a program. It's much more in a practice and a sort of, this is how we work around here, this is how we relate to each other, and it's how we learn together. Well, it's sort of I think a fundamental issue, and that is, if you focus on numbers and accountability, you risk losing the things that make numbers best. So my sort of take on that is, it's sort of like if you compare it to a business. If the business lives sort of quarterly numbers to quarterly numbers, they eventually go out of business. If they, on the other hand, focus on what are the processes, what are the goals, what are the strategies that can help us get better, the numbers take care of themselves. And accountability, I mean, this is sort of interesting. We think of accountability as an external standard or something imposed on us, when in fact, the most powerful, most effective accountability resides in the promises we make to each other. And so I think they actually melt very well. The key is to focus on learning, to focus on how we're going to support each other. The numbers and accountability will take care of themselves in the end. They're important in that they help us just sort of reference where we are. But the real work around building accountability, making the numbers work, doesn't reside in the report. It resides in the work that happens all the time.